Previously on Echo.
After a rough trip through a black hole, the crew regroups to sneak towards the sound of Auntie Tamisa's shouts. On the way, they discover a gruesome scene and are ambushed by assassins. The crew teams up with Auntie Tamise to face the IOC's peace officers. The odds turn in their favor as the team wipes out the leftover assassins before they retreat. Eliminating the enemies was a piece of cake, but Pet and Div must now face the emotional toll. And now, a word from today's sponsor.
This show is proudly recorded on Zencastr. When we first started recording our podcast, we had a lot of options. We needed a platform that could record and generate separate tracks and videos with a full suite of professional tools at our disposal. Zencastr does everything for us, and it'll do more for you. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code BaddieBards, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences I do for all my podcasting and content needs. And it's time to share your story.
Now let's play some fucking D&D.
If we are all ready, we can begin. So, last session, you were greeted by some very unsavory and unwelcome house guests. And after decimating them in the swamp, you were all greeted by Auntie Tamise. By and by, the noises of the swamp come back. The distant popping of swamp gas bubbles rising to the surface, the creaking songs of the insects and the wind whistling through the burning and smoking trees. The walk back to Auntie Tamise's place is silent and contemplative. And once you're there, you don't have to be told to make yourself comfortable in the squat circular home. You guys know what to do. This is Auntie Tamise's place. It may as well be your own. And Pet and Div, you hear her muttering messages into her home console, going through the rusted swamp channels to send out the all clear. Auntie Tamise was never the type to set out tea for y'all, but she was also never the type to let you go hungry or thirsty. So you hear this older croaking woman sort of limping around her kitchen, all reliable, her cane thunking about the wooden floor. And after a few minutes, she brings out a pitcher of sweet lemon honey tea, and she puts it on the table in front of you. And it takes her a second, like she makes another couple of trips to go and bring back cups. And she puts the cups on the table and she does not serve you. But she does take her time to sit down in an old, like, reclining chair sort of situation. Like, it rocks back and forth, but it doesn't look like it's wicker. And she looks towards you, Pet, and says, "What brings y'all home? I mean, beyond the obvious."
I don't even... It was Auntie Tamise that said that, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Would I... I think Div would actually, like, look up at Pet, because I think Div is stunned into silence right now. I think they're shooked and gooped and gobbed right now. So I think they would look up at Pet and then look at Nex, like, to their left, and kind of step in front of Nex a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Div is too stunned to speak. I'm not gonna lie. The nigga is too stunned to speak. Yeah, they looked up at Pat.
Pat says, "We got a message from Zen to come back, and we came back a lot quicker due to jumping through a black hole. But everything," and Pat takes a moment, I know Pet like kind of is like looking for the right words. I think we need to get stuff done right now. We need to clean up to start the process of burying our friends. Is Zin around? Orion? What is Orion okay?
Auntie Tamise, you hear like a bloop bloop on Auntie Tamise's communicator. She pulls it up, and it is, she says, well, speak of the devil, you have a lot to explain, I think. Jumping through a black hole?
I think right now Pet is just like they're about to go into boss mode because of the fact that this battle just happened. They want to check on everyone before they check on themselves. So Pet says does everyone has my, I don't think anybody has my new updated communicator. Can I do like put my number in the group chat?
Well, yes, yeah. You would have to like coordinate some shit with Auntie Tamise, but yeah, it's a thing you can do.
Okay. I think Pet is gonna say we have things to be done. We have things to get done. Auntie, are you okay? Do you need healing?
You see Auntie Tamise. She doesn't tear up, but she does look a little, not put off, almost a little like sad, but you can't tell what it's directed towards. And
I guess
you can roll an insight if you'd like,
because I have an idea, and I'm going to say it too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna say it first. I think Pet, like, where is Auntie Tamise? Standing up.
So Auntie Tamise is sitting in a little reclining chair, and y'all are on love seats on either side of her coffee table.
I think Pet goes ahead and just places their hand on Auntie Tamise's arm and does like a squeeze and just says, I'm sorry for Mita. We couldn't get here fast enough.
At that, Div will like be on her other side. And I think Div just kind of awkwardly hugs into her side. They just wrap their arms around her and hugs into her side. Presses the front of their helmet face into her.
At this, you see, y'all give me an insight check real quick. I want to see what you can glean.
Okay.
Real quick.
18. Would it be with advantage because that's TT?
I could give it to you with advantage because it's TT. Yeah.
Okay, let me. Can I roll that again?
Yeah.
Because I still got disadvantage on stuff.
Yeah, I see.
I'll take that 18. Ooh.
That 18 will do, yeah. 13 for Mozaeya.
Don't be clocking my auntie.
It's 17 for Pat. Okay. And I'm sorry, Short Rib, are you rolling to understand or no? It's up to
No.
you. You don't have to.
Oh. No.
Okay. So, Div, you are a creation that has analytics built into your core. Emotion comes later, right? But you are able to clock and understand human emotions, or like people's emotions just in general, more effectively, because that is the way that you were programmed. So with that in mind, you are able to notice Auntie Tamise's eyes go slightly wide at the mention of Mita. And then you see her set her jaw, like you can audibly hear her teeth clench together. And you feel her, both of you feel her take a really shaky breath. And then she opens her eyes and she says, "What happened to my girl?"
No, she just got the news from us. Div, I'm not on fucking camera, but I stood up. I want you to know that.
I think Pat is going to say, when we landed here, there were, we saw the bodies. I think they kind of lingered of, we saw some, and Pat is just trying to think of the wording for this to be
like appropriate.
Not appropriate. I'm trying to, like, it's how many people, I'm trying to remember how many people those I know it's 3. So when we came
Who
in,
all did we see again? I'm sorry, DMP remind us.
Dijon, Poppy, and Mita.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Mita.
We saw Dijon, Poppy, and the only thing that we could see of Mita is their hands.
You guys, let me ask you something. How did you find Auntie Tamise?
We found her surrounded, no? Oh, you mean like how we first met?
Right, yeah.
I think for Div first met Auntie Tamise at her bar. They had they were fighting in there. Like they were starting a fight in there with some fucking drunk ass niggas. And they were like tossing these people around the room and just making a huge fucking mess in her bar. And she was out of the brawl, she was the only one that could grab them by the fucking collar of the scruff of their neck and lift them into the air and make them like cut their rage out. And Div immediately respected like the fuck out of her. I think at that point they weren't with the doc anymore. They weren't with Dr. JT.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that Auntie Tamise was the first person to put like a roof over Div's head when they made it to Estrie.
So with your history, Div, with Auntie Tamise, you have seen her cycle through lots of emotions in your time with her. You have seen her overjoyed, ecstatic, curious, quizzical, sad, heartbroken even. You've seen her angry, you've seen her rage, you've seen her exhausted. But you've never seen anything quite so terrible as what hits her now when she registers what the two of you have just told her. She very slowly sort of shrinks into herself. This powerful Mamban woman takes no shit, takes no prisoners. And for this moment, you don't think you've ever seen anyone look smaller. And she says, "My baby girl." And she breaks down and begins to sob. This is the first time you've ever seen her cry.
Div just holds her. They keep hugging her. They just hold her while she cries.
I think Pat is just holding her hand too. But definitely kind of, I guess now he's clocking that while that wasn't about it, everything was happening at one time, or
yeah, like
everything was happening together at once.
Well, Mita, Poppy, and Dijon were in one spot, doing something completely the hell else, and Auntie Tamis was in a completely different situation. So she didn't know. She didn't see them whatsoever. She just assumed that they would be safe because, I mean, she's never seen an X prototype before.
Can I ask you something, DM? Like, do I recall correctly of you saying that when we landed on S-Tree, like, it was quiet?
It was, yeah.
Shit is not good. Shit is not fucking good. S-Tree, like, District 68 is a crowded place. It is a crowded community. It being quiet at any time of the day or night is worrisome. And I think that is what really, like Div not hearing the usual hustle and like bustle of the swamp around them, truly just hearing like Auntie Tamisa's cries in this moment and the fucking insects chirping. That makes their fucking stomach drop. That makes their stomach sink.
I think Pat definitely, as I said, like is holding Auntie Tamis, but is also like want to not rush this, but like they need to get everything. They want to get everything in order for funerals and the funeral rites and everything, so everyone can mourn. And is trying to be in this moment the most present that they could ever be in their life right now, and do that position of who is the one that's going to start doing the process. You know what I mean? Like, who is going to start telling what we need to do and everything. I think Pet stands up and just like, for Pet case, how they met Auntie Tamis, I think Div introduced them to them. And they just have this kind of understanding of, oh, you're cool. I'm cool. I'm cool with you. You're cool with you. And Div likes you, so I'm going to like you too. So I think Div has a lot more, like, I mean, over the years of working and living with her and everything, they have had a relationship, but I think the deeper connection is definitely with Div starting up. So can Pet do I know where the devices is where everyone's having all the messages and everything?
Yeah, you know where her home console is.
Okay. Can I just like I squeeze Auntie Mi's shoulder and I want to walk up to the
see you're gonna walk up to the console.
Yes.
You do see Auntie Tami slowly pulling herself back together. It just kind of like caught her off guard.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Damn.
It caught her off guard. And
the death of her child? I'm sure.
Yeah, that will do it.
That'll fucking do it. Bitch, I'm
Like,
crashing out immediately. I would tell Pet not to fucking talk to me. Like, I'm so...
Yeah, that's why I think that's why Pet is like, I want to give Auntie Denise that moment. So let me go ahead. The only thing I can do right now is be with you there to grieve, give you distance, and also start working to get everything together. They, you know, Auntie Denise can't handle all of this right now. We just got here, so let me. What is it? The love of service.
Yeah, acts of service.
Acts of service to just go ahead and just handle that. And I want to go to the council and just yeah, it is the council pretty much.
Yeah, and you do see like an older console. Like it's none of what's in the districts is particularly new, but it's not bad. You know, it's quality stuff that's been hot for a little bit. Nothing too serious. And it's a decent enough console. You see that she already has it tuned to the Rested Swamp channels. And you are free to do with the console as you wish.
I think Pet, can I talk or can I type?
Both.
Okay. I think I want to make like a mass message and say, I don't even know if the coast is clear yet, so I'm just gonna say, we're here. Meet at Auntie Tami's. Is it bar? Yeah, bar.
Mm-hmm.
We will discuss what we need to do. And it's under my account. It's under my account.
Your account? Okay. You see the console immediately start going like bling, 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 as like people all over like begin to respond to the message, like the message, all that good fun stuff. And you hear slowly, it does take it takes about an hour actually for you to begin to hear movement again in the districts. Still quieter than normal, but you see that Zen got the message out that you guys had sent to people to be in the hideouts. Oh yeah, there were people in the hideouts, and you hear a slow like a procession of people coming, filtering in hither and thither towards the Black Lagoon. And while this is happening, Short Rib and Dr. Bleak, you guys have largely been left to the periphery of this very tender moment with Auntie Tamis, Div, and Pet. So I'm curious, what's going through your minds right now, considering the everything with the black hole and the fact that you guys really haven't had a moment to exhale since you've been here? What's going through your minds right now?
I think startlingly enough, I think Dr. Bleak is kind of where they prefer to be, almost. In the periphery, kind of out of the way, in a place where she can observe and learn and listen and absorb the context of the situation around her. And I think she is very comfortable accepting that this moment, that this day, that these interactions are not about her. And I think she is more than happy to sort of like take a step aside, kind of even beforehand when things were hitting the fan, very comfortable leaving things to Pet and trusting in Pet and trusting in kind of their assessment of the situation. They are just kind of quietly watching, learning, listening from these interactions and filing away little thoughts in their head about how they might best be of support to their friend. And that word feels interesting across their thoughts as they think.
The way you said that. I can see the font in which you said that.
So they are kind of learning, absorbing context and kind of like strategizing quietly to themselves how to best be of support, and knowing that trying to like assert themselves in the situation and trying to like make themselves known in this situation is not what is needed in this scenario. So they're just trying to figure out how to best support is kind of Mozaeya's mindset in the moment.
I think Short Rib more than likely is taking a similar stance. Not really feeling like this is a moment that has anything really to do with them interjecting in any way. And I think that more than likely they're thinking about her mommy.
Give me a D20 roll real quick. $11. You get a text message from Big Ma. Or a hologram is more accurate.
Ooh. Hey,
and it's a little hologram of Big Ma just saying, "Tell me, what is a gore bank?" Like that.
I think Short Rib probably is like very excited to absolutely gush about this thing. So gets into it like, well, it's actually called a Glarbeck and just truly begins to child ramble, kind of drifts outside, realizing that entirely too loud talking about something that is just so not relevant.
So you head outside of Auntie Tamisa's house?
Mm-hmm.
You actually begin to see, as you're talking to Big Ma, you begin to see different people filtering through. You see like Rhaegar people who look like Void. You see people who look like nothing you've ever seen before, Mombins and Krokins. Like you see the Mombins are the ones that are swimming in the water around you. You see them like all heading towards a specific area at the far back of your sights. And I will ask, actually, how long do y'all wait with Auntie Tamise before heading to the Black Lagoon?
Div would stay until Auntie Tamise was able to calm down.
It took her a moment, but she was able to pull herself together relatively quickly. If nothing else, then because she doesn't necessarily want y'all to see her that way. And so she just kind of pulls it back together, and you see her reach for the tea, and her hands are shaking a little. And she takes a sip and she goes, well, I can't just leave her out there.
Oh my fucking... You motherfucking... Dog, you love to hurt me.
I do nothing ever in my entire life.
Div will actually like grab her hand that's holding the teacup and ask, do you want me to go?
Would you?
They nod and they go immediately.
Can I ask, what is Pet's mom doing? What's Oku doing?
She is standing by the door with her gun strapped to her back, looking very uncomfortable.
I know, she like, this is...
This come in. Yeah, I know, this come in. The first thing you see, oh, wow. Sadness and all this. With
Not
no
only
explanation.
that, but like
no
a
explanation.
mother crying about their child.
Yeah.
Being comforted by her child. It's a lot happening. She's very uncomfortable. And you see Nex is actually waiting beside you, Div. So very close to Auntie Tamise. And you see Auntie Tamise look at it and then look at you and go, are you taking that with you? Where did you get that thing from?
Div, Div sighs, and they're like, we have a lot that we need to talk to everybody, frankly, about. We fucking picked up X at the what was the name of that event?
Oh, the summit?
The summit.
Yes. And like, we picked up Next at the summit because it is apparently like me. It's like a copy of me, but better. And so the Confederation tried to use it to kill the leader of the... Gosh, I'm blanking on it. Thank you. Them. And we hacked it.
Blue.
Next is our buddy now.
I think, Pat, when you said better than you, Pat looks at you and says no.
Yeah. Auntie Tamise looks at you and cocks an eyebrow too, like, what are you talking about?
Oh, Div pushes that to the back of their head. They're like, I'm not gonna think about that right now. Little blush marks appear under their eyes. Little anime, like little slashes. Yeah. And they're like, and they like kind of like start rubbing where their temple would be. And they're like, it's been a long... None of this would have happened if it wasn't for fucking Xand. Where is Xand? Like, they're just like recounting, like, oh, like we have been doing a lot. And even before that, we were fucking locked up. And all of this started from that bitch ass nigga tricking us and getting us locked up and caught up. Where the fuck are they?
Yeah, I think Pat says we will explain to everyone at once, but you already did like an overview pretty much. I think what they want to help Div, and I also want to search the bodies that are visible still, to see if I get any clues about who did what. Like, if there's any clues on there, is there any connection still with the radio that happened?
With the other next prototypes?
Well, more like when that part happened in last session about telling the, what is it called, the assassins to leave. Is there still, can Pet check if there's still kind of like a radio feedback to them?
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So y'all are going out to look at the bodies, yes?
Look at the bodies, collect bodies.
Look at the bodies and collect bodies. Okay.
On the way out, I'm sorry, real quick. On the way out, though, Div will, like, when the four of them will step outside or what have you, because I know Auntie Tanisha is going to stay back, Div will, like, look at Doc and Short Rib, and they're like, you all don't have to do this.
Short Rib is fully giving Big Ma a lesson about the Great Glarbeck War, not paying attention.
Real. Which is preferable. Looks at Doc. They like shrug, like, you don't have to do this.
I will support you in whatever way you feel is best.
Div doesn't know how to respond, so they just go and collect bodies.
I think Pet looks at their mom and says, you can also help, but it's up to you. And just leaves.
She follows.
Mm-hmm. Please give me the help accent.
Yeah, she follows. So you guys make your way across the different bridges around the Black Lagoon, and you see bodies littered throughout the swamp. Varied bodies. Some you recognize, some mechanical, like the next prototypes, and some that are just IOC trash assassins and berserkers sent here to wreak havoc. And wreak havoc they did. You see some of the buildings where y'all kept supplies like food, clothing, power cores, all that good fun stuff, they've been destroyed. And some of them have been gutted. With all, like, the bounty that you guys have harvested for cycles upon cycles at this point. The bounties that you guys have harvested have been thinned considerably. Through sheer violence and theft on the part of these peace officers and this crew of people. What you can gather from the noise, and not the noise, like the size of everything and the way that everything is situated, this was an execution. This was a strike to show the might and the power of the IOC. What has happened is that your numbers, if I'm not mistaken, in the notes that you gave me, you said that there were 45 members of the PGB.
Mm-hmm.
Your numbers have been thinned by 2/3 at least, looking at how many bodies you've seen. And you see pieces and parts of people that you have come to love and treasure. People in the districts who aren't even a part of the PGB. People who you have given asylum to, given shelter, food, water, clothing to. People you have broken bread with. And you finally make your way to where Mita, Dijon, and Poppy rest. And you see the sort of exploded next prototype This one is white in color and has dents and dings and chops and stabs inside of it from the fact that Poppy the Steel, Dejan, and Mita did not go down without a fight. But down they went just the same.
Fuck.
And you see Zind crossing one of the bridges and heading towards where you guys are. He's limping, walking with Windry, who has a very steely expression on her face. Zin's eyes are red with unshed tears, and his face looks haunted. But he has a tremulous smile for you when he sees you, same as he always does. And he goes, "Ugh, things are kind of bleak, huh?"
Zin says this?
Yeah.
Let me roll something. Div bounds up to him on all fours and immediately like jumps on his front and perches their legs like on their feet on his waist so they can like hold themselves up on him, and grabs him by the collar. And they're like, "Where is Xan?"
At this,
I'm sorry. Sati's reaction.
If it wasn't gonna be you, it's gonna be me.
I had to roll for it. I was like, does Div respond to all of this with sadness or with anger? And it's anger like 8 times out of 10. Like, I think it was a slow process, like collecting these bodies, collecting these parts, passing all these fucking next prototypes. And it was like adding a pound after pound after pound on the weight. You know what I mean? It just kept growing. And then when they saw Zen's face, half of them is like, fuck, like, I'm happy to see you and I'm glad that you're okay. But also, where the fuck is your sibling at? Where is your goddamn sister? You know what I mean? Like, we have, and again, just going back to how they felt just moments ago, like, none of this shit would have happened if we were here. And when we weren't here because we were in fucking jail and trying to make our way back through a fucking series of unfortunate events. So yeah, that's how Div is coming right now.
You see Zind like immediately put his hands up and he goes, "Listen, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know where Zand is. You guys aren't the only ones she left behind here, okay? I did go here." And he hands over like a little box of like chips, data chips. And yeah, go ahead and give me a technology check just to see if you know what they are.
Okay.
Can I also, I see that Div is on top of Zen, and I want to look up at Winry, and says, what happened to Mita?
I just fucking read that story 30 minutes before session. This sucks. I'm sorry.
At this, Windry looks around because this is where you guys are. You're near the bodies of where they are. And you see her eyes flick down to the ground to where Mita's remains are, and she nods. And she says, "You know what happened to Orion?"
Div fucking drop.
Eyes like raised. No. But I think also Pat, even if it's kind of like how they're talking to each other, it seems like very kind of like, but I think that's how they talk to each other. It's always a question. Pat says, no. Like, where is Orion?
You see Windry give you a look. And she says, in the bunker. We couldn't. Zan didn't want to move him.
I'm sorry, did you just say Zand or Zend?
Zend, sorry,
Okay,
I meant
okay.
Zend.
It's okay.
Oh, child, no.
Alex, why are you changing my plans up, huh? Why are you changing my plans up?
I ain't do nothing. I ain't do a damn thing. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? I think when you say that, Pat eyes grows really wide, and first thing they do is come up to Winry and give them a quick hug. Like, that's my nigga. That's my nigga.
Yeah.
That's my nigga.
Yeah. She holds you back. Yeah.
And I make my way to the bunker. I don't say nothing. Well, is Oku trying to follow me?
Yeah, Oku follows.
No, I turn around and I say to Oku, stay here, and just goes.
Ooh.
Oku stays put. She does look a little shocked, but she doesn't, it passes quickly. And for you, Div, 21 technology check, you see that these are data logs. Chips that you can save information on, like a memory card, basically. And these are audio data logs. Zend looks to you and says, I found them in her safe. I don't know what they say.
You didn't listen to them?
No, didn't have time. By the time I found them, we were being crawled upon by fucking peace officers.
Div jumps off of him and stands, and they hold out their hand for them for the box.
Zend hands it over.
Div is still very angry, and I think that shows. But they do look up at Zend and they're like, I'm sorry. And thanks for calling us.
Zend kind of rubs his neck a little bit. He's this lanky, gangly, younger Githyanki boy. He's got this tuft of hair going up and really pointed ears that stick out. He's just a goofy looking kid. And he looks a little wounded, by the less than warm reception. But he does give you a small smile. And he says, it's been rough. I'm glad you're back home.
Fucking sighs. They're rough. I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to see you.
At this, Zin does give a very wide smile. So, just to question, what are you doing with these data logs?
Div can insert these into them and listen to them, right?
Yeah.
Div will look at Wendry and Zend and say, Auntie Tamis isn't doing well. We're collecting everybody's bodies. Go search for the wounded and bring them to the Black Lagoon. Anybody you find, tell them where to come.
Wendry nods and Zan gives a little salute and they take off.
Div, Div pops one in. I also don't think they allow Nex to help with this.
Nex is standing off to the side. He's been following you around, but you didn't give him any orders, so he's just following you around.
Cool. I definitely tell Nex, like, just, stand to the side and they pause in their collection because they are so fucking curious. And I think even, like, scared isn't the word, but I guess anxious to hear what might be on these fucking audio logs, to hear Zan's voice. Like, they feel like they're gonna go into a rage upon hearing this nigga's voice. They haven't seen them for what, like the better part of a year, I guess, at this point, like, since they've been locked up. And having been locked up that whole time, and just to find out the end of it that your fucking homie did it. So are these logs, like, categorized in any way or marked in any way?
Yes. Their system of organization is very stringent, very specific. Zand was very well organized, which is why working with Zand was worthwhile. Zand used audio logs for strategizing because she talked through, she processed through talking.
She was nothing if not thorough.
Nothing if not thorough. And so she had to have left these data logs in her safe, knowing that the only person who could find them would be Zand. Maybe.
Fucking
because it's taken him this long to find them.
Div, like, said that out loud, like, this fucking bitch. Like, while they're fucking going through the box. And Div will try to look for the date, maybe like a week before that Pet and Div got caught, or if not a week before, the day of. They're looking exactly like for that date, and then I think after that they pull up the most recent log.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. The most recent log that you have is from the day that y'all got caught up. There is one from a few days prior to that. I do want to see, which chip do you choose first?
Between the day we got caught and the most recent? The day we got caught.
What, the day you got caught?
Yeah.
So, what you hear is something unlike what you've heard from Zand before. Zand was always very well put together, very articulate, very clean, and specific in the way that they spoke. And on these logs, on this day, you hear her rambling. Homegirl, full tilt, is like, I think today's the day. It's gotta be today. It's what they deserve. This is what they get. I don't understand. Why in the hell would he have abandoned me? Me? I was here first. You left me for that fucking robot. You both get what you deserve. And And it clicks to another day, like another moment in that entry. And you hear her having a conversation with someone else. And you hear first like a ding ding of a deposit. Kind of like a Cash App chime like message, but you hear a notification of a deposit go off on Zan's communicator. And there you hear her go, just like that. Just like that, Sarah. Just like that. And you hear another voice.
I mean, not Bitcoin, Chromio. Sorry. I was really trying to rack my brain for when we called that shit.
Chromio. But you hear another voice coming through Zan's communicator. And it's another femme voice. And they're going, just like that. It's very simple. All you have to do is jump the next ship and I'll come get you. It's totally fine. We'd love to have you aboard.
Do I recognize that voice?
No. I was gonna have you roll for it, but you wouldn't.
Okay.
And you hear Zan give like a breathless kind of I can't believe they're gone. I can't believe they're gone. Sarah, what do I do now? What do I do now? And you hear Sarah, the person on the other end, go, just what I told you, Z baby. All you have to do is join the clan. We take the best care of you.
No fucking.
And that's when that day cuts off.
Dog. What the fuck is she like? You left me for that fucking robot? What could, like, would Div... What fucking robot would she be talking about? And then clan, like, who do they know the name of the Gith Yankee Tiger Claws leader? Like, do they know the name of that leader?
Do y'all know that name?
Yeah.
No. You weren't given that information. Just that you are getting supplies from them. Or potentially getting supplies from them. Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is she talking about, that fucking robot?
Give me an insight check.
Okay. 13.
13. She's talking about you.
You left me for that fucking robot? Did she, like, would she know, like, no, who would lead? Like, this is like, how am I in it? You know what I mean? like, how the fuck am I in it? What did I do? Are they talking? Oh, fuck, Moko? Did Moko and Zan used to date?
No, but Pet and Zand were friends first.
Oh my God. Div.
And to be fair, it was something that I will give you this for free. You and Zand had that like playful competition sort of situation going on in your mind. Right?
Wow.
But when you sort of not publicized, but didn't deny, rather, when Moko like made advances toward you, it was not a secret that Zand had a thing for Moko, at least as far as you're concerned. You thought it was a joke. Zand was dead ass serious. And that is like, yeah.
When it all clicks for Div, when it finally clicks for Div that Zan set them up all because they couldn't bag Moko, frankly. Div just got it like that. Div fucking they want to throw this box, but they're like, I need to hear every single thing on here. And so they call Nex over. They're like, Nex! And when Nex comes up, they're like, hold this and guard it with your life. And they're like, please. They like, I think Div like this entire time is trying to control them like going into a wild shape, honestly. I think they're finding it, like they're trying to restrict, like keep it under wraps. But their like shoulders and back muscles are like popping in odd ways and looking just like disjointed, and it is just like kind of like roiling like under their like artificial skin. It's really taking everything in them to not snap. Like people died because you were mad.
Give me a Constitution saving throw real quick, please.
I got a nat 20.
Woo! Bitch, that saved your life. That saved your fucking life. Okay.
God.
So, here's what happens. You are listening to this data log, and you feel pure, unmitigated, unbridled rage flowing through your circuitry.
Absolutely. Like, it's a jolt to their fucking system.
Mm-hmm. And you know that if you wanted to, you could destroy Zand. You could destroy this district. You could destroy Eastries if you wanted to. But you remember everything about everyone who has ever been here. And for the first time in a very long time, you have perfect control over that black hole whirling in your stomach. You might be getting a handle on this rage thing.
I think Div clocks that. Doc isn't around, right? They're not, like, they follow Pet, right?
If Pet allowed them to, Doc would have been following Pet.
Pet doesn't know and doesn't care. So if someone follows them or not is up to them. So I don't know if you were there for this conversation.
Did I like hear the conversation, or did I just like see Pet like storm off?
What's your
Which
passive
conversation?
perception?
Me and Winry saying, do you know about
Oh,
Orion?
right.
Because if Doc was there, did they hear, me saying? I mean, at least I think they would hear I said to Oku, stay here. And just left.
I think that would have been enough for Doc to like see that Pet, if Pet wanted it, would also probably fare better not being alone, and Doc would have tried to follow. If Pet didn't care, Doc's not built to traverse a fucking swamp, so who knows how effectively they're following.
I mean, there's little boardwalks to walk.
Yeah,
so like,
Wait, what type of
and
shoes
stuff.
does Doc wear? I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
that's a question.
Doctor shoes, Doc Martens, maybe. Fuck no. No.
That's actually cute. I can see
Doc
that for Doc.
Martens? I
can
could
see
see
so. I
Doc
can
Martens
totally see
for
Doc.
Doc, but that's not what doctors wear.
It was a pun.
I don't
She's
think-
not a doctor. That's why.
Yeah,
Shut up! Shut up! Anyway. Shut your mouth! No, Doc would be like dress shoes, or like just like fucking like weird ass like running sneakers, or like is like shoes that can be like used to traverse in, but not like hiking boots, or not like swamp shoes, not like waterproof, like
Okay, I was
probably
curious, like if her fucking
breathability. So the water's like probably just like sloshing around like wet socks in their shoes.
yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
that's exactly.
I think Pet is used to it, so that's why even if they're wearing stilettos, they know how to walk in the swamp.
No, Doc is following Pet, then Doc's not there.
I think Div, like for a second, like when they feel like they're about to lose control and they're trying to like rein it in, they do like look around. I don't think they had realized like Doc had walked off, so they look around for a second to see like who's around them. They clock Short Rib, they clock Oku, they clock next
Zend is still there as well.
Okay,
and Windry.
Got you. They clock them too, and they like look away from them all, and then kind just like looks. They just, I think they just look at their hands for a second.
So from there, we will follow Dr. Bleak, who is following Pet. Pet, you make it to the bunker. Describe for me what the bunker looks like, boo.
All right. So come in. I would say the bunker, as I said, looks like there's a way. Okay, how do I explain it? I think when I walk up to the area, it just looks like a mango grove area, like a swamp area and everything. I think not only is life above, there's also life below. So I feel like Pet walks up to, it looks like pretty much a bog kind of area, not a bog, but our swamp don't. Our swamp sells sweet because of the cricket, what is that cricket? The shrimp crickets that are in the water. So basically, Pet just walks up to it looks like a dock area, and they basically go to the side where a edge of the bridge is, and just stamps 3 times, and what's it called? A council slowly rises up, and I put the code in, and then I don't know, it says like password accepted or something. Wait, would it be? Would they change the password for me?
Even if they did, you would have the master code.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So definitely Pet puts in that code, and then you hear like a twirling sound in the background as the mangrove, the fake kind of island that it's on slowly raises up, and the water displaces itself into like a tunnel hall kind of like entry that's dark when you first come in, because all the water is draining out of the area, and I just go in.
And it leads you down under the water to a hidden place that only y'all know. This is where you find Orion in the center of this spherical, like, steel titanium bunker. There is glass to show the swamp without, the blue-green water, and the Mombins swimming through. And the bunker is not plush, but not ill-appointed either. It has places to sit, places to rest. And on one of those places to rest, you see Orion. Orion's body has gone slightly cold, and you can see the gash of a chain axe that nearly took his head from their body. And you see that Zend closed Orion's eyes, wrapped him up in a nice white sheet, and that is where you find Orion.
Okay, Alex, I see this game you're playing. I think Pat, in that moment of time, just stops and just looks and see them, and is clicking in their brains like over and over, Orion, I need to help them. And then I kind of grab a chair and sit in front of them, and Pat looks down at them. Is there any way I could tell that they're breathing or they're not breathing?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me a medicine check.
Oh my God. My nigga is like, no, I'm going to disadvantage on this shit.
Can I give them advantage of the help action, just kind of pointing out the like proper ways to like check if someone is breathing?
Oh, are you here? Are you gonna make yourself known?
I followed you.
Are you gonna make yourself known?
So how do you approach in this moment? You explain to me how you're gonna provide the help action, and we'll see.
I think they'll have sort of been like lingering a little ways away, and just kind of softly say, Pet, the places to check for a pulse. And they'll kind of like sort of guide them through the process of, analyzing vital signs in a very...
Are you talking to them right now?
Yeah, just cold.
Pat looks at you for the first time, like, in a way, there's a moment of just desperation that they didn't think someone's going to see them. And it kind of surprised them seeing you here and you talking. And there's like a second that he didn't know, he did not hear he hears your voice, but it was like a second that he was going to pull his gun out. Just for a second. And just looks at you and just says, why did you follow me?
You seem distressed.
Pat heavy sighs and just like at this point brings a chair close to Orion, and I want to cradle their head on my lap and just like for myself, hold their, like, you know how you their place their head, like the chair is close to it, kind of shift their body a little bit to be on their lap themselves and embrace them from their, like, the top of their head, and just slowly kind of like look at their scar, like the what's it called, the hole, the wound, the cauterized wound.
Yeah.
And just says, look what they did to you. What they did to you. They're gonna fucking pay. And it's like, I think now, looking at you, looking back at Doc, you're gonna help?
And Doc will very tentatively kind of make their way over and just sort of begin sort of walking Pet through the process, offering the help action of like trying to stabilize someone who has passed. I don't know what possible mechanics there are. Good DM for like resuscitation or like chest compressions and or mouth to mouth, but like.
Yeah, no, I get you. Go ahead and give me a medicine check with advantage. And I guess in your case, it would just be straight.
It would be straight.
Would that allow Doc to take the lead?
Would a what?
Will
allow Doc to take the lead. Doc has a +5 because they are proficient in medicine because they are a doctor.
I have a +4 in medicine.
It's about the same. Doc will use
Ask him. Ask Pat.
I think Doc will kind of shake their head and go, Pat, you can do this. We can do this. And they will cast Bardic Inspiration with their bonus action and then use the help action to give Pet advantage, which will technically give them a bigger boost than Doc's measly old little +5.
Okay, so I need to do my roll straight first. Okay. Come on, baby. I got an inspiration. This is gonna be worth it.
You got it. I believe in you.
I got a 12, and then what is the Bardic?
D8.
Oh,
D8.
Is it a D8 now? Nice.
We're chilling. She's sitting pretty at a D8.
6. So 6, 7, 8, 18.
18. When you move Orion, you hear like a little, like sort of grunt. And you have to be especially careful because this is right here. So moving his head and shoulders, that's where the ouchie is, right? But as you move him, there is blood flowing. His body is cold, but not frozen solid. You know what I mean? It hasn't died yet. And eyes open, wildly look around. And Orion sees you. And you see him say, "Takastra."
No.
Pat? Alex? Alex?
Yes.
Pat says to Ori and kind of it's more like leans down more to them. They extend their wings out to give them privacy from the dock. And they kind of like coo to them. They're like, shh, I know. We're gonna find her. I'm just glad that you're okay. And oh God, the tears, man, the tears that Pet wants to release, but it's just like he slowly pushes his head to theirs and kind of runs their hands over their temple and just glad that they are alive or they're good for now. And he says, I don't think I ever tells you my whole name is Pettigale as Deku. And I'll tell you a lot more about myself now, You just have to be okay. We'll find Astra.
You see Orion's eyes slide closed, and there's like a small smirk on his face. But he, he's not dead, but passes out because very grievous wound. Yeah. And we will come back. I want to ask, when do y'all get to the Black Lagoon? Do y'all meet back up again?
I think
Or do
Div
y'all
will,
want to?
Yes, Div will have listened to that, been like, oh, I can't listen to these right now. I'm gonna need to listen to the rest of these with Pet. And so they have next taking care of the box while they collect the bodies and make runs to and fro where they need to go, covering the dead like respectfully, you know what I mean? Coordinating with Windry and like Zen to get like a working list of heads, pretty much deceased and alive and injured. Whenever Short Rib would have gotten off the phone, I think they would have asked for Short Rib's help in like grabbing like medical supplies and stuff and telling Short Rib like where they could be found at and just bringing them to the people who would be helping the injured. I think that they would request that of Short Rib. Yeah, they will tell people like leave Auntie Tamis alone right now. Like she needs time right now. Yeah. And then they go to the Black Lagoon. I don't know how long all that will take. I assume a minute, but
I think for Pet, now that they see that, I think they stay there for just a little bit, just to make sure that Orion is actually like breathing, because they don't want to leave their side, but they know there's other things that needs to be done. So I would be with communications with Div, because I'll just send them a message and say Orion is still hurt. We need someone to help them also. They're in the bunker. I guess I'm gonna have to mark where we're at, but I think that now that they're okay and I communicated that, I pushed like at least a blanket and kind of sop up as much blood that is in that area to kind of compress it.
Oh, he's been wrapped up really tightly. He's still like bleeding and stuff, but Zend did like, tie him up pretty nice. Yeah.
And I think he gets up and walks up to Doc. And Apple, if you allow it, Pet is going to hug you.
Yay!
Apple will allow it. Doc. Pet will feel Doc like instantly stiffen. And then sort of quietly like reciprocate the hug after a while of like shaking like a chihuahua for like a good 2 it takes a little bit of buffer time before Doc like calms down, and like the first person other than like Short Rib has like comforted them since they went through what was a very traumatic experience, like through the black hole and directly into battle and through everything that's happened. And I think Pet just like feels Doc just like completely like go like almost limp as they just like fall into them, and I think their coat kind of goes a very like brightly colored blue before kind of settling back into its usual sort of rainbow coalescing.
Pet also needed that hug, and they look at Mozaeya and say, "Thank you." And who do I have the honor of talking to now?
You say that to Doc?
Yes.
Doc will kind of think for a long moment. For now, Dr. Mozaeya Bleak will do. When we are in a place where I don't have to be this, I think there is someone who would like to meet you. Eventually.
Scrumdiddlyumptious. I'm eating.
And
I think Pat just smiles at, like, after we release the hug and everything, just says to he says, "All right, Dr. Mozaeya, we need to get you some better shoes."
I hate this swamp. I hate your planet.
It gets
your home.
better. It gets better. You just need.
Your home is crazy.
I hate your house.
Wow, you are really being honest right now.
Of course, I lie when it matters. This swamp, not it. Can we go anywhere else after this? We could hit a spa. Is there any like danger at a spa? Maybe they took. We should definitely tell Div that they took Astra. That's important.
Astra. I think Astra knows. I mean, Astra. What is that?
No,
Yes,
Div would
Div.
know.
yeah,
They said, you would know.
y'all got it in the sending.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we did.
Y'all got it in the
Okay.
sending.
Oh,
So
okay.
what happens now, actually, Div, as you're walking to the Black Lagoon, you get a message from Zend
fucking
as
who?
he's like walking
Wow.
through, like from Winry. He's walking through. And he goes, "Oh, right. I did detect thoughts on the guys who took Astra. They're taking her to a cracked out facility with the rest of the rebel trash."
Div tilts their Div tilts their head at that. And they think of Doc. Doc is the first person that comes to mind upon hearing that. A cracked out facility.
On that note, we will leave it here for today.
I'm fucking
We'll
sick.
leave it here for today.
No, fuck you, Doc. Tell us what the fuck is up with you. How about that? Like, what's tea, girl?
Oh my good lord.
What it do, doctor?
What did it do?
It's not important
Okay.
right now. Important later.
Oh,
No,
Lord.
it's important now, actually. As it
That's
so
what
happens.
happened. Part 3.
It's important now, as it so happens.
Hey y'all, it's Blue. I played Div, your favorite chaotic android. And if you enjoyed this episode, you can show us some love by writing us a review wherever you're listening to us on. And if you're looking for more BaddieBards because you just love us so much, you can find all our social links in our description. We are here. Bye y'all.